Hell of the North, Paris-Roubaix preview show coming up. Who do I think are the favourites? Who do I think is going to win? And will the weather hold? We hope. The route for the women's race is pretty much a carbon copy from last year. Time to have my yearly moan about them not doing the Arenberg. They start in Denane, they head south where they could easily do some sectors and then join Havely and follow the men's route from there to the line. But they don't. The first sector is Honang, 3.7k, all the way to the Velodrome. For the men, starting Compiègne, Toisville, and aside from a couple of small alterations, the route is the same as it is every year. On to the favourites. For the women, it's a shame we've lost Alicia Longo-Borghini, but again, the top favourites are SD Works with Lorena Wiebes and Lotta Kopecky. Trek, they'll be all for Elisa Balsamo, and honestly, I think everyone else is probably an outsider. For the men, two big questions face the men's race. The first is how Tadej Pogačar will get on. The second is Van der Poel's illness. How bad was it really? The former, I think for him to be able to fight for the win here, he needs to get to this point. Sort of 400 meters to go on the Arenberg without any issues. Well rested as much as you can be. And then he needs to conserve energy, and then go for one big Clermont style move on the Carrefour if he's still there fighting for the win. And then it's just a hope and a prayer. The only other place maybe to attack after that point would be that 4k to go drag towards the roundabout where they turn off towards the Velodrome. Alpecin, how bad was Van der Poel's illness? I mean, not terrible. Had he not been ill, I think he'd have been fighting for the win at Flanders, but clearly he's suffering. It sounds like he still is. If he's good, Alpecin will ride for him. If he's not, they'll ride for Philipsen. If he's good, I see him playing it exactly the same as he did last year. Try a little move here to test the waters. Attack on Orchies to split the group up, and then he's got Mozon-Pavel and the Carrefour if needed. Other favourites, Ineos Grenadiers for me have a strong chance of winning. They raced Flanders superbly, may not have got a good result, but they raced it superbly. This race suits them more. Connor Swift, Josh Tarling, Filippo Ganna, Sam Watson and others, they will look to be aggressive at Roubaix. Get Swift and Tarling into an early move, and then Ganna can join them later on. If Pogačar, Van der Poel, Van Aert or anyone give him an inch, he can take a mile with his engine, especially on this sort of course. Strong contender for the podium. Mads Pedersen is another very strong, I think he's one of these strong favourites. He's got the sprint, he's got the hard racing. If there's a bit of rain, I think he'll go well as well. He just needs luck at Roubaix. I think last year he had the legs, but he just couldn't stay with Van der Poel. And this year he looks to be in better form, so hopefully we will see. He does need the team to ride better for him, for me, than they did in Flanders. Sturven could have done a lot more, even to try and chase down Pogačar at the end. Final top favourite for me is Wout van Aert. I've got to be honest, I never thought I would say that this year. He proved me wrong in Flanders, fighting for the podium. I don't think he was ever in contention to win it, but Roubaix suits him a lot better than de Ronde. For me, he needs to be more assertive to win. Even here, take it on. Be more assertive, take it on. You've got to weaken Van der Poel. You've got to weaken Pogačar, in fact get rid of Pogačar, because he can't rely on his sprint anymore. Flanders and Dwadors proved that. Elsewhere, Tarling has been ill, so I don't think he will be a particularly strong card for the win. or a good result, but he'll be there for Ghana. Stefan Kung always has a bit of bad luck, but is always a threat at Roubaix. Yeah, I think that's about it. So how do I see the women's race going? I think there'll be a breakaway for the first sector, relatively large, containing a few of the stronger teams. I reckon Trek might look to sneak someone in the move. SD Works will control. Kopecky will hit it on either Bercy or Mozon-Pavel and just keep hitting it. If she fails to get away, they've got Lorena Weavers to take the sprint, but I'm going to go for a double for Lotte Kopecky in the rainbow jersey, and she's going to win Paris-Roubaix 2025. Podium, I'm going to go for Elisa Balsamo, and third place, Lorena Weavers, as I drop my beat on. For the men, I see it going very similarly to last year, although I think by the first sector we'll know if Van der Poel is good or not. Alpecin controlled it all, the cobbled sectors last year. If they don't do that this year, I think it's probably safe to say that they're going to be riding for Philipsen. Without Laporte, I don't see Visma putting in a move. I see that being Pogačar. Although I think he should ride conservatively, I don't think Pogačar can. He'll look to attack here, let's be honest. They'll get onto the Arenberg with a smaller group. We are going to go and have a look at the new non-chicane. And a group will come off here with Van der Poel, Philipsen, Van Aert, Pedersen, Ganna, Kung and Pogačar. I wouldn't be surprised if Pogačar puts his first or second move on either Hornang or Rossier before they head towards Orchies. And Orchies will be where Mathieu van der Poel will put in his first probing move if he is good. If they stay with him, it'll look to continue on to Mozon-Pavel and the Carrefour being aggressive. If not, Group 2 syndrome will come in and Van der Poel will roll clear and win. I think he'll split the group on Orchi or Mozon-Pavel, but I don't think he'll go solo at that point. I think he'll go solo on the Carrefour and take the win. I think he'll win 3 in a row. I think the illness, he's got a week of extra recovery time, and I think he'll be better. And I think his form at Flanders, even though he lost the sprint for the second, is still pretty damn good, and I think he'll take the win. Podium, Philipsen and Ganna to round out the podium in that order. Another 1-2 at Roubaix for Alpecin, and I think Ganna will finish off a very combative day for the Ineos Grenadiers. Van Aert, I think if he has the luck, will be in that play for the podium. I just don't think he's got a good sprint compared to Ganna and Philipsen anymore. So maybe 4th, maybe 5th, depending on if anyone else is there. Tadej Pogačar, he could go either 2 ways. He'll either be top 5, no, in fact 3 ways. He'll either win, he'll either be top 5, or he'll finish outside the top 10. I should caveat the men's predictions. If Van der Poel isn't good, because that's what the prediction before was based on, Wout van Aert is going to win Paris-Roubaix.